How did a Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines aircraft collide tragically as the airliner tried to land on runway 33? We'll examine more closely at the last hours before the disaster, the miscommunication between the air traffic controller and the P-825 VIP military helicopter, and the rescue mission in the movies that follow. Watch the video for more information. Earlier that night, the aircraft had taken off from Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport in Wichita, Kansas. A military Black Hawk helicopter and a PSA Airlines aircraft, Flight AA-5342, operated by American Airlines, collided in midair on Wednesday, January 29, 2025, at around 9 p.m. The jet was on its last approach to Reagan National Airport in Arlington, Virginia, when the awful event happened. According to American Airlines, there were 3 troops on board the military chopper and 60 passengers and 4 staff members on the plane. About 2,400 feet, or 730 meters short of the runway, and just over the center of the river, the radio transponder on this aircraft ceased sending out signals. In almost 15 years, this was the first significant commercial crash in the United States. It is clear from the air that Flight AA-5342 was heading south toward the airport, dropping over the picturesque Potomac River. This neighborhood is well known for being close to a number of famous sites, including the Pentagon, which is situated in neighboring Pentagon City. The impressive dome of the US Capitol building, a symbol of American democracy, can be seen to the north. The Potomac River provides incoming planes with stunning vistas and acts as a natural border around the airport and a large portion of Arlington. Nevertheless, the region's air traffic management is made more difficult by the intense ground and air traffic in this area. The landing flight, American Airlines Flight 5342, was making its last approach to runway 33. The plane was only a few seconds away from landing at this point, known as the short final, and was hovering around 400 feet over the ground. Pilots are completely focused on properly putting the plane down during this crucial landing phase, when every second matters. Meanwhile, there were reports of an Army Black Hawk helicopter, known as PAC-25, possibly on a training trip. It was following the Potomac River's route, flying perpendicular to Flight 5342's flight path. This kind of aircraft is frequently seen flying over the Potomac River, which is a recognized helicopter flight path. In this case, the 2 aircraft's operating rules were the primary distinction between them. The PAC-25 Black Hawk chopper was operating in accordance with visual flight regulations. This meant that in order to avoid other aircraft, it had to rely on visual monitoring of its surroundings. Operating under instrument flight regulations, which provided precedence over VFR planes in controlled airspace, was the landing Flight 5342. In order to prevent collisions, this method makes the assumption that VFR aircraft will actively maintain visual separation. Ronald Reagan National Airport's air traffic control tower phoned P-825 just before the crash to ask whether they could see the other plane. In response, P-825 said they did. This first appears to be an admission that they were aware of Flight 5342's existence and were taking precautions to stay clear of it. However, it now appears probable that P-825 mistook the second aircraft the tower was referring to for a different one, maybe a flight leaving from the same airport. Unfortunately, it's possible that P-825 was unaware that aircraft 5342 was falling straight into its path. The Black Hawk might not have changed its path in time to prevent a collision as a result of this misidentification. Based on what is known, this is what seems to have happened, even if I'm not a pilot. It's a tragic scenario that begs the issue of how miscommunications like this may happen and what safeguards can stop them from happening again. Please feel free to leave a remark if you have further knowledge or experience. The passenger airliner fell many feet into the river after breaking into numerous pieces. In the meanwhile, the helicopter landed on the ocean upside down. The biggest obstacle to the rescue effort is access. The depth of the water they are working in is around 8 feet, or 2.5 meters. Furthermore, the circumstances are difficult. Rescue personnel are hampered by the high wind and drifting ice pieces. The 2 planes kept flying toward one another until they collided, and the opposing side did not react. The Kenby Center cam captured this long-shot footage, which appears to show a collision between a commercial airliner, a helicopter, and 2 airplanes, producing a massive flash. A close-up photograph captures the moment of imminent peril in vivid clarity, with the Black Hawk chopper flying straight for the jet at an uncomfortably high speed. Reports state that the Black Hawk pilot's apparent bewilderment caused the scenario to develop. He didn't appear to be aware that there was another plane nearby. It finally resulted in a crucial error of judgment. The pilot clearly affirmed that he had visual contact when the flight controller radioed in to inquire whether he had recognized Flight 5342. But the jet he was talking about wasn't Flight 5342. Rather, it was an entirely different plane that was passing over his location. This misidentification turned out to be expensive. Confident that he was flying safely, the pilot proceeded with his path. Unfortunately, he flew straight into the path of an approaching plane. The series of incidents demonstrates the extreme intricacy and dangers of flight, where even little misunderstandings or lack of situational awareness can have catastrophic consequences. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.